There's been a significant and disturbing increase in gun-related law enforcement deaths last year. Firearm-related fatalities claimed the lives of 64 police officers, contributing to a roughly 21% increase from the average of 53 per year from the previous decade. And the top two causes of firearm deaths: ambushing police officers and handling domestic violence calls. This is according to data from the National Law Enforcement Memorial Fund. And that's exactly how two officers lost their lives last year in Connecticut. Police say Sergeant Destin DiMonte, Officer Alex Hamzy, and Officer Alec Ayuroto were responding to a domestic violence call, and it turns out the call was to lure the officers to the home. The gunman shot and killed DiMonte and Hamzy. Ayuroto was shot and injured. The gunman fired 80 rounds at police before he was shot and killed. This was the 911 call that night.
Shots fired, shots fired. More cars, send everyone. Officer shot, officer shot.
That's what our nation's police officers potentially face every day on the job. So when the LAPD decided last week to ban the thin blue line flag that honors fallen officers, it sparked outrage. LAPD says the reason is because it, quote, represents racist and bigoted views. Harris, I'd like to cover as well what specifically the police chief said. We can put it up here. He defended it by saying, defending the ban, by saying that the thin blue line flag has been hijacked by extremist views. He says it symbolizes support for violent views and of those represented by others. Why don't we take it back then? Why is a police chief capitulating to a tiny faction that has hijacked a flag that to the rest of us means wholehearted, unwavering support for those who have sacrificed their lives in the line of duty? How can he capitulate?
Politics is a drug, and he's flexing woke. He obviously believes that by doing this, he solves the problem of having to deal with the rhetoric that puts his men and women in harm's way, and at the same time balance out, as a true leader, finding those among you who may not be doing their jobs correctly. That's why they call it leadership. It actually isn't joining a band. And so you have to make tough decisions, and it sounds like, it smells like, and possibly is, just a relegation of his duties. That he doesn't want to lead. You don't just cancel. I mean, it's like he's suddenly 16. I mean, that's kind of their vibe, right? Let's just cancel. I live with a 16-year-old. Mom, I don't like this. I'm just not going to. Right. So that part of it. Did you hear what the cop in DiMonte, Hamzy, and Ayuroto's situation was yelling? Send everybody. Send everybody. We're under attack. Send everybody. You're in the military? No. He meant that.
And what's sad is that a lot of times they don't have the support. So now we have a police chief who's too busy trying to take down flags instead of working to make sure we're recruiting more cops, making sure they have adequate funding, making sure they actually have competitive salaries, and so they have the resources to do what they need to do. But instead, we're going on these, these pop culture type of crusades. Oh, we're going to get rid of the flag, just as all symbolic. Well, look, I think a lot of people who are dealing with the high crime rates right now, they don't care about your symbolism. They want to they want to have safe streets. And so that's really what should be the priority.
Well, and let's get in here with the Vice President for the National Fraternal Order of Police, because he said exactly what you're saying. He painted a picture of the landscape and why exactly it has led to this. He said it's difficult to express the level of utter disgust and disappointment with the chief's politically pandering directive to remove the thin blue line flags and memorials for fallen officers from all public areas within our police station. He says this came as a result of complaints from anti-police criminal apologists and activists who hold too much sway over our city leaders and, unfortunately, our chief. Amy, that is the climate that has not only led to a rise in ambush and death by suicide and horrible things that afflict police officers every day, including a thinning out of the ranks. But then the fact that the police chiefs don't even have their backs. How, as Americans, are we supposed to show our support? What other symbol is there to honor those officers who have died and fallen in the line of duty?
Well, the symbol right there that you talk about, it means something, and it means something to the people who've lost officers. You go back 9 years to Detective Ramos and Lou, both shot down in Brooklyn. We're on the 9-year anniversary. Do you know what Maritza Ramos, his wife, left behind, the widow, has done for the last 9 years? She has been out in Brooklyn doing police relations, taking things to children, taking things into neighborhoods to make those relationships better. She hasn't been sitting on the sideline. So to her, that thin blue line, it means more than even the loss of life of her husband. It means I want this not to happen again. So are we going to say to her, sorry, that symbol, you know what? It just really rubs us all wrong.
But there are solutions to this. Emily, there are solutions to this. We've seen it change in New York City. Since Eric Adams became the mayor here, he's not done it. I mean, I'm not saying that he's the most wonderful mayor in the world, but he did at least decide, let's give these police officers the funerals in this city. I could not believe Midtown Manhattan when that funeral was happening for those fallen officers. I mean, the amount of blue that came out in this city. I didn't grow up in New York City. I didn't see that growing up in Texas and Arizona, but to see it in the city. So there is a way to change, I think, to boost the morale. There are things that mayors can do, politicians can do to honor what is such a difficult job.
Right.
I mean,
I think you're being
police
so
versus-
generous right now, and I'm grateful for you saying that. And I have to say, it's the Detective Rafael Ramos Foundation, if anyone wants to learn more, because it's really important that those foundations exist and were born out of such tragedy. But that's a different point, Cheryl, than this is a police chief. I mean, a mayor wants to come out and show support and show that thin blue line. Absolutely. I expect that as a minimum. As a minimum, as a tax-paying citizen and patriot, my mayor better do that regardless of political party. But a police chief to ban this and out of the other side of his mouth say he dares to honor those who are fallen, I am so glad I don't live in California anymore, and it breaks my heart for every officer that has to serve under that police chief's watch. That is absolutely unacceptable. There's no reason for that whatsoever. Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.